نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قال الله تعالى في القرآن الحكيم: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم والفجر وليال عشر. We were in the middle of something, but there's a huge window of arbitrage right now open for us. And I think it would be wise to just put a small pause on the series of eschatology and salah. And inshallah, we'll continue from where we left off. But now we'll take a small detour and take advantage of the time that Allah Azza wa Jal has given us. Especially these 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. So Hazrat Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu anh, he says that in Surah Al-Fajr, the layalin ashar, it's the 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. So when the creator of time himself, Allah Azza wa Jal, he's not bound by time. Time came into being after the creation of the universe, same as space. So when the creator of time himself swears by time, the 10 nights, it's a unit of time. In Islamic theology, that means that he is signaling to us the importance or the monumental importance of certain time, or certain period of time. So the Prophet ﷺ, he elaborates on this even further. He says, ما من يوم العمل الصالح أحب إلى الله من هذه الأيام. That there's no day in which a righteous deed is more precious for Allah Azza wa Jal than these days. The Sahaba radiallahu ajmain, these are academic minds, they're very curious. So they pose a question. They say, Ya Rasulullah, walal jihadu fi sabilillah? What about jihad in the way of Allah other than these days? If somebody's performing jihad, that's definitely more precious, right? That's more valuable. So Prophet ﷺ says, La, walal jihadu fi sabilillah. Not even that. Illa, he makes an exception as well. He says, illa, a person who actually goes out fi sabilillah, in the way of Allah, bi nafsihi wa malihi, with his life and with his wealth, falam yarji min dhalika bi shay, and he spends them both. That means he is a martyr, he gets shahada, and he spends all of his mal as well. Then that person, yes, that's an exception. Rawahu Bukhari wa Abu Dawud. That's an exception, yes, that. But other than that, nothing else. So the question then becomes, what is so special about these days? We hear this often, right? I'm pretty sure everybody's heard this. But what is so special about these days? Like, is it just a nod to the traditions of Ibrahim alayhi salam, which is amazing, but still, is it that? Or is it just an arbitrary command? With Allah Azza wa Jal, he can command whatever he wants. Is it that? Or is there something else as well? So this is actually, to answer that question, it's a very profound question. If you understand it, it changes the spirit of the days and how they are to be spent. So I'll try to cover this really quick. It might take a little bit extra today, but inshallah, if we cover this, then we can start advancing and utilizing this time. So the answer is very profound, and it's the intersection of our past, of our present, and our future, with two variables that are present and unique to Dhul Hijjah. One of them is Arafat, and the other one is the time. So location and time. So 3 layers, right? Past, present, future. We'll discuss the first layer, past. In Surah, I forget the name of the surah, I'm not sure if that is correct, but Allah Azza wa Jal, he says that وَإِذْ أَخَذَ رَبُّكَ مِنْ بَنِي آدَمَ مِنْ ظُهُورِهِمْ ذُرِّيَّتَهُمْ. He is giving us a recollection of events that we don't remember. Our memory is blocked. It will open up, but right now it's blocked in this world. So he says there was a time when your Lord, He took out all the souls that were ever going to be present in the world, and He collected them all, and He made them testify against themselves. And He asked them, Alastu bi rabbikum? Am I your Lord? Am I not your Lord? They go, Qalu bala. They said, of course, there's no question about that. For sure we know. We can testify. And then He says later in the ayah that the reason I'm asking you is, so an taqulu, that you don't say, once you go back into the world, you don't say, Inna kunna an hada ghafilin, that we did not know. Now you've testified against yourself. You've said it. Now you go to the world and prove this. So where did this happen? That is the first reason of the importance of these days. The Prophet ﷺ, he told us that Inna Allah akhadha al-mithaq min dhahri Adam, that indeed Allah, when He took this mithaq, this pact, this contract from the progeny of Adam, where did He do it? Bi Na'man, yani al-Arafah. That He did it in Na'man, which is a part of Arafah. So the first layer in our past, when we testified, you know what this was? This was, for example, Hasib bhai, your body is not you. The actual, yes, the ruh, that's the actual you, right? So that was your soul's first contract with Allah Azza wa Jal. The first connection, the first contract and connection that it made with Allah Azza wa Jal was that. So our first contract that we made with Allah was in Arafat. That is our past. Now coming to our future. Our present. What's our biggest connection with Allah Azza wa Jal right now? It's Islam. The way of life that He has given us to make a connection with Him. When was Islam completed and how was it completed? Allah Azza wa Jalla tells us in the Quran, right? Al-yawma akmaltu lakum dinakum wa atmamtu alaykum ni'mati wa raditu lakum al-Islam deena. That I perfected this religion for you. I completed my blessing and I approved of this religion for you. So when a Jewish scholar, he heard this in the time of Umar radiallahu anh, he went to the Caliph and he said, if this had been revealed to us in our book, we would have celebrated this as a festival. Umar radiallahu anh says, I know exactly when this was revealed and where this was revealed. And we already celebrated as a festival. It was revealed on a Friday and it was the plain of Arafah, Hajjat al-Wada, in the last pilgrimage of the Prophet ﷺ. So that is the second thing. The second connection that we have at present with Allah is our deen. That was completed in Arafah again. The third one, the future. There will be a time, you know, when we were talking about eschatology yesterday, we were talking about the Surat, that let's move back a little bit. There will be a time when there will be a special kind of rain coming down from the sky. It will fall on the earth, an earth that has been silent for thousands, maybe millions of years, who knows. And then there will be some remnant of each one of us's skeleton, possibly the coccyx, the tailbone. And it will start regenerating until the whole skeleton is made, the flesh comes together on the skeleton, the whole body is complete, and life is born again within that body. And each one of us is gonna rise from the earth. And we are not gonna be shaking, we are not gonna be wearing anything. When Aisha radiallahu anh, she heard that, she was like, everybody's gonna get up and we're not gonna be wearing anything. So yeah, she asks the Prophet like that's so embarrassing. So he goes, it's going to be so terrible at that time. The terror will be so much that nobody will even notice that no one's wearing anything. So when we get up on that day, we will all be gathered towards a plain. In that plain, we will be told what the result of our whole life was, right? The hisab will happen. So that is actually, do you understand microcosm? Like a smaller representation, you know? So that is actually Arafah is the microcosm of Hashar. And these 9 days before Eid are the microcosm of our lives. So just like people, at that time, like I told you, when we would get up, we wouldn't be wearing anything. We would be stripped of our titles. No one would be a doctor, a professor, or an engineer. We'd be stripped of our titles. We'd be stripped of our wealth. No one would have any special amenities. Everybody would be the same. And everybody would be in terror. And they'd be asking Allah Azza wa Jal for a verdict of mercy. Do you see something common here? What happens in Hajj? Everybody's wearing the same thing. Everybody is stripped of their titles, of their wealth. Nobody can tell. The person beside you might be a billionaire. You will never be able to tell. He'll stink like you do. His hair will be like yours because you can't really make your hair. He won't be, no one applies lotion or anything like that. They're exactly the same. The only difference is that we are covering our satar. We are stripped of our titles, we are stripped of our wealth, and we are in the same plane. Everybody has their hands raised. They're making dua to Allah Azza wa Jal for forgiveness. That's what's going to be happening at that time too. That's a microcosm basically. So just how our life, these days of Hajj go by, and at the end there's Arafah, where if it's accepted, everything is forgiven. You return from Hajj as if you were born. Everything is forgiven, just like that, and a new life begins, like your new life, where everything is clean. Just like that, in our life, these once the life ends, when are we going to get the mantle of deeds? When are we going to get the book of deeds? At Hashr. So it's basically our life, the climax is at Hashr, and then a festive new life begins, inshallah, which is going to be Jannah. And what happens in these days? A festivity at the end, which is Eid, for people who actually celebrated them or spent them the way they should have been spent. So this is basically, this is the most important, these are the most important days in the year, even more than Ramadan. The scholars say that the days of Dhul Hijjah are more precious as far as good deeds and rewards go. The nights of Ramadan are more precious. However, Ramadan is obviously 30 and this is just like 9. So how do we spend them? And why do we spend them like that? Maybe 3 more minutes, inshallah, and we'll be done. What do we get if we spend them right? The Prophet ﷺ, he's told us that there is no other day, مَا مِن يَوْمٍ أَكْثَرَ أَن يُعْتِقَ اللَّهُ عَبْدًا مِنَ النَّارِ مِن يَوْمِ الْعَرَفَةِ. That there is no other day in the whole year where Allah Azza wa Jal liberates more people from the fire, that He forgives them, even though they're meant for the fire, but they're forgiven, than Yawm Arafah, than the day of Arafah. And who's getting this? Not the person who just wakes up on Arafah and just does something. It's the preparation to Arafah. That's how you're supposed to spend them. And then he says, وَإِنَّهُ, he's referring to Allah Azza wa Jal, لَا يَدْنُ, that He comes really close, that His mercy is like very extravagant at that time. And وَيُبَاهِهِمُ بِهِمُ الْمَلَائِكَةِ, He tells the malaika, look at these people. مَا أَرَادَ هَؤُلَاءِ, what do they want? You know what's happening here? This is divine vindication. Remember when we were being made, the angels, they said, why are you making these creations? يُفْسِدُ فِي الْأَرْضِ وَيَسْفِكُ الدِّمَاءِ وَنَحْنُ نُسَبِّحُ بِحَمْدِكَ وَنُقَدِّسُ لَكَ. That they are going to spread corruption, they are going to kill, and we are enough, we exalt you, we glorify you, we do your tasbih. So Allah Azza wa Jal said, إِنِّي عَلَمُ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ, I know something that you don't. This is the vindication that's happening. Allah Azza wa Jal, He's expressing His pride on a certain group of individuals who are spending these days the way they should be spent. And He's saying, what He's asking the angel, He knows. And he's asking the angels, مَا أَرَادَ هَؤُلَاءِ, what do these people want? He knows. He's just rubbing it into the angels. So basically, when a monarch or somebody who has everything, when he asks, what do you want? Why is he asking you that? He wants to give it to you. So that's Allah Azza wa Jal going to give it to us. He's like, okay, what are they asking for? I'm going to do it. So who wants this? Like, who really wants this? I think everybody does. That's what we are aiming for, right? That's why we come to the masajid. That's why we read Quran. That's why we do dua. That's why we do everything. And like I said in the beginning, It's a small window of arbitrage. Arbitrage is when something, you're earning a lot for something that, like, you're getting way too much for something. So it's a small window, just 9 days. If we spend them right, we get the big, like, what bigger Eid gift could there be? So now my question to you guys, I'm done with everything that I wanted to say. My question now is, how bad do we want this? Because if we want this bad, there is a specific way that we can get them. And that has also been told. So my idea that I want to propose is that if you guys want, then we can do this, do the 9 days, the coming 9 days, inshallah, the way they should be spent. And inshallah, be very hopeful that when we go for Eid, we will be among those people whom Allah Azza wa Jal asked the malaika, Ma rada ha'ulay. So how bad do we want it? That's the question. So if you guys want, we can make this program. I went over it today, and I think I have a pretty good format and framework set up. If you guys want, then we can execute it. But I will need support. And by support, I mean just how, mashallah, you are convicted right now, and you devotedly come and always spend time. The nights are getting shorter. So it will be a little bit harder, but it's just 9 days. Just imagine when we wake up for Eid, how we will be feeling. Because we will have exerted. It will be hard. But even in that mushaqqa, that effort will be, that one day of Eid, that will just, make everything go away. It will be so satisfactory. So are we ready, or should we think about this more? Ready? Yes, Dr. Weil. Because now these faces should not disappear. Because if they disappear, then I'll be like, okay, even these faces disappeared, then how can I expect others to join in? Okay, so the best way to do this is the tradition of Ibrahim alayhi salam. So the framework the program that I set up it works like this. We will go in chronology from the dream of Ibrahim alayhi salam that he got initially to take his wife and his child to Makkah. That's how it all began, right? So we'll start from over there, and there will be one lesson every day. What we can get from this and how we are going to implement it. But we have to be really, really strong and willed that we implement it on the first day. Because the second day, there's going to be a second lesson, and we'll have to implement that. So we're going to build upon it. And inshallah, by the end of it, other than going to Hajj that we cannot do in the US, we have to go to Makkah, we will have inshallah implemented all the pillars of Islam, which is Salah and Saum and Zakah. Well, not Zakah, but close to Zakah. Now Zakah is obligatory, but we'll do the optional one. And Zikr and all of that, inshallah. So that is the plan. Whoever you can invite, please do invite. So tomorrow we are going to start. So this was just a baseline alignment. Now that we know what we are aiming for, inshallah, we can inshallah start. And if you guys can give targheeb to other people as well, that would be great. And if not, then we'll upload this and you can have them listen to it if you want. Okay? Jazakumullahu khairan. Subhanallah wa bihamdi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.